Did you know that in Ecuador, you can technically stand with one foot in the northern hemisphere and one foot in the southern hemisphere at the exact same time? But the monument marking the spot is actually in the wrong place. It is true. A massive stone tower attracts millions of tourists to the middle of the world. But modern GPS proves the actual equator is about 200 yards away. If you enjoy discovering that the world is a little weirder than you thought, hit that subscribe button and comment down below what country, city or wild topic we should investigate for our next countdown. Today, we are heading to South America to explore a land where the mountains reach to the stars and the tortoises are older than your great-grandfather. Before we dive into the main list, we have two honorable mentions that show just how unique this country really is. First, let us talk about the Galapagos Islands. While they are a province of Ecuador, they are basically their own little world. The animals there have no natural fear of humans because they evolved for millions of years without large predators. This means you can go for a stroll and the sea lion might just decide to nap on your feet, or a blue-footed booby might try to show you its dance moves. It is one of the few places on Earth where humans are the ones being observed by the locals. Second, Ecuador is the world's leading exporter of bananas. We are talking about billions of pounds of fruit every year. If you have eaten a banana today in the United States or Europe, there is a very high chance it started its life in an Ecuadorian plantation. They grow hundreds of varieties, including some that taste like raspberries or creamy custard. Now, let us kick off our list with number 10. Ecuador is a paradise for bird watchers, but one bird in particular is the undisputed heavyweight champion of the sky. The Andean condor is the national symbol of the country and one of the largest flying birds in the world. With a wingspan that can reach over 10 feet, these massive scavengers use thermal air currents to soar over the jagged peaks of the Andes without flapping their wings for miles. In local indigenous cultures, the condor is seen as a messenger to the heavens. Seeing one in the wild is a breathtaking experience, though you might want to hold on to your hat, as they are big enough to make you feel very small very quickly. Coming in at number 9, let us talk about your favorite morning pick-me-up. While many people associate coffee with Brazil or Colombia, Ecuador is one of the few places on Earth that produces both Arabica and Robusta coffee beans. But the real star here is the chocolate. Archaeologists recently discovered evidence that the Mayo Chinchipe culture in Ecuador was using cacao over 5,000 years ago, which is about 1,500 years earlier than anyone in Mexico or Central America. This means Ecuador is technically the true birthplace of chocolate. Today, they produce some of the highest quality fine aroma cacao in the world. So, the next time you are indulging in a dark chocolate bar, you are actually tasting a piece of ancient Ecuadorian history. The best hats are so finely woven they feel like silk and can take months to complete, often costing thousands of dollars. Moving to number 7, we head to the capital city, Quito. Standing at an elevation of 9,350 feet, Quito is the highest official capital city in the world. If you visit, do not be surprised if you feel a little winded just walking to get lunch. The air is thinner up there, but the views are spectacular. Quito was also the first city in the world to be named a UNESCO World Heritage Site back in 1978. The city center is a sprawling maze of colonial architecture, gold-leafed churches, and narrow cobblestone streets that make you feel like you have stepped back into the 16th century. Just remember to stay hydrated and take it slow, or the altitude will remind you who is boss. Number 6 takes us to the kitchen for a dish that might make some viewers a bit squeamish. In the Andean highlands of Ecuador, the traditional delicacy is cuy, or guinea pig. While many of us grew up with these as cuddly pets, they have been a staple protein source in the Andes for thousands of years. They are usually roasted whole on a spit and served with potatoes and corn. It is often reserved for special occasions like weddings or religious festivals. If you can get past the fact that it looks like your childhood pet, locals swear the meat is lean, high in protein, and tastes like a cross between chicken and rabbit. It is the ultimate don't knock it until you try it meal. Cracking the top 5, we look at Ecuador's revolutionary approach to nature. In 2008, Ecuador became the first country in the world to officially recognize the rights of nature in its constitution. This means that instead of treating nature as property, the law recognizes that ecosystems have the right to exist, persist, maintain, and regenerate their vital cycles. It allows citizens to file lawsuits on behalf of an ecosystem, even if they aren't personally harmed. So, in Ecuador, a forest or a river technically has the same basic legal standing as a person. It is a bold legal experiment that has inspired environmentalists all over the globe. For number 4, we go from the legal world to the record books. Ecuador is home to the highest density of volcanoes in the world. The avenue of the volcanoes is a valley flanked by 2 parallel mountain ranges containing over 50 volcanoes. Many of these are still very much active. Cotopaxi is one of the most famous, looking like a perfect snow-capped cone that belongs on a postcard. It is one of the highest active volcanoes on the planet, and its frequent grumbling keeps the nearby residents of Quito on their toes. Living in Ecuador means living in a constant state of geological drama, where the ground beneath your feet is always doing something interesting. At number 3, we have a fact that will change the way you look at a map. Because the Earth is not a perfect sphere, it actually bulges at the center due to its rotation. The equator is farther away from the Earth's center than the poles are. This means that Mount Chimborazo, a massive inactive volcano in Ecuador, is technically the point on Earth closest to the Sun. This means that Mount Chimborazo, a massive inactive volcano in Ecuador, is technically the point on Earth closest to the Sun. Even though Mount Everest is higher above sea level, Chimborazo's location on the equatorial bulge pushes its summit farther out into space. If you stand on the top of Chimborazo, you are literally at the closest point a human can get to the stars while still standing on solid ground. Coming in at number 2, we visit the legendary Galapagos tortoises. These giants can weigh up to 900 pounds and live for over 150 years. In fact, a tortoise named Harriet, who was reportedly collected by Charles Darwin himself, lived until 2006. These creatures are so vital to the islands that the word Galapagos actually comes from an old Spanish word for a type of saddle, because the tortoise's shells look like Spanish saddles. Because they can survive for a year without food or water, sailors in the 1800s used to keep them on ships as a source of fresh meat, which sadly led to their numbers plummeting. Today, they are strictly protected, and seeing one slowly lumbering through the brush is like looking back into the Cenozoic era. And finally, number 1, we return to the middle of the world, or Mitad del Mundo. While the massive monument built in the 1970s is the most famous tourist photo op, the real equator is actually located about 240 yards away at the Intiñan Solar Museum. The original surveyors used the best tech they had at the time, but they were slightly off. At the true equator, you can witness some mind-bending physics. Because of the lack of Coriolis force at 0 degrees latitude, you can balance a raw egg on the head of a nail with surprising ease. You might also see water drain straight down a sink without swirling left or right. While scientists argue about how much of this is pure physics and how much is a clever trick, there is no denying that standing at the center of the world feels like a glitch in the Matrix. From being the birthplace of chocolate to having a mountain that reaches further into space than Everest, Ecuador is a small country packed with massive surprises. It is a place where nature has rights, hats have the wrong name, and you can stand in 2 hemispheres at once. Which of these Ecuadorian facts caught you off guard the most? Was it the giant tortoises or the guinea pig dinner? Let us know in the comments what topic or country we should cover next. And make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss our next global adventure. We will see you in the next one.